¿Qué pasa, YouTube? Happy Monday to all my hacks out there. Hopefully you're all having a good day today. I just got finished doing poke trivia, which should be up on Wednesday, so make sure to go check that out. Now, it is 12 a.m. for me right now, and I'm only narrating it this early just because on Monday I'm not going to have time to narrate and upload it. But yeah, as you can see, this is going to be a PU battle, and I just made a quick team based around Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rocks. So as you can see from my opponent's team, he doesn't seem to carry a Poison type or a Rapid Spinner, so I know I can freely abuse my Toxic Spikes and maybe get up my Stealth Rocks later on in the battle. And there's really nothing on his team that really scares me outside of the Kangaskhan, because I know those do tend to hit hard. Also, the Electabuzz might be a bit of an issue if he tends to be Scarf, but hopefully I will be able to play around those. And let's see how the battle turned out, so let's get right into it. So, my opponent's going to be leading off with a Metang, as I will be leading off with my Tentacruel, because as I said, he doesn't have a Poison type and he doesn't have a Rapid Spinner, so I know I can freely get up my Toxic Spikes, as I'm going to go for my first layer and he's going to hit me with the Earthquake. But because I am max defense with Eviolite and that is not stabbed, even though it is super effective, I will be able to take three of those, and I will be able to get up my second layer of Toxic Spikes, as I'm going to knock off the Eviolite from this Metang, just so it won't be as bulky, and maybe if I can bring in my Simisage to hit it with the Focus Blast, I can hopefully KO it, or at least 2-hit KO it. As I'm going to switch into my Rapidash, and because it's still fairly early on in the battle, there's no real reason for me to overpredict, so I'm just going to go straight for the Flare Blitz. Unfortunately, he does make the safe play into his Shelgon, which is fine by me, seeing as I'm able to Toxic it now because of these Toxic Spikes. So because he does resist the Flare Blitz and I am obviously locked into it, I am going to switch out into my Meganium, which actually does carry the Dragon Tail, so I'm going to go for that, as he actually ends up switching back into his Metang. But because I don't have my Stealth Rocks up yet, the phasing really isn't doing anything for me, so I have to start playing a little bit smarter and start maybe going for Giga Drains or going for Elite Seeds, as I'm just going to go for another Dragon Tail, seeing as it is super effective and he obviously does resist the Giga Drain. So I managed to Dragon Tail him out into the Grumpig. Now this is PU, so I have no idea what the hell a Grumpig does, so I just decided to go for the Elite Seed, and it actually turns out that 1, he's faster than me, and 2, he learns Taunt. So again, why did I switch into my Simisage? Hello? I think this is actually the battle where I was playing extremely stupid, and halfway through it I realized, hey, Leo, get your shit together or you're gonna lose. But yeah, I just basically switched into my Coolbara, nickname references to my good friend Wander of the Wind for giving me that nickname, and the nickname comes from obviously Yu Hakusho. Sorry, it is 12:30 a.m. guys. So I'm just gonna go for the Aromatherapy to get the Toxic off of my Simisage, seeing as it is actually a sub-Elite Seed set, but I tend to carry Life Orb for the extra little bit of raw power. And I'm just gonna switch this turn into my Gigalith, seeing as this is a perfect opportunity for me to get up my Stealth Rocks, so I know if I keep phasing with my Meganium, it would actually start benefiting me in the long run, seeing as I will be getting residual damage with the Stealth Rocks. Also, if I forgot to mention, today's opponent is Pikatendo. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if he's got a YouTube or not, but if you somehow stumble across this man, please leave a comment down below and I'll leave your channel in the description. And yeah, there was really nothing going on there, but he does take out my Gigalith, which is a bit unfortunate, as I'm just going to switch into my Simisage, and here is where knocking off the Eviolite is going to come in handy, because I know from that amount of HP, a Focus Blast will be able to take it out. So I went for the Substitute. Not really sure why. I mean, he had no real reason to want to switch out, so I should have just gone straight for the Focus Blast. And as you saw there, we both actually missed our moves. He missed Meteor Mash and I missed Focus Blast, and I'm able to finish him off the following turn with another Focus Blast, as he brings in the Leavanny. And because I am faster than Leavanny, I'm actually going to sub up just to see what he wants to do. Maybe he wants to go for a Swords Dance, predicting me to switch out, that way I can be behind his sub freely. But no, he does opt to go straight for the return, and he turns out to be Life Orb, which is great for me, so I'm going to go for the Focus Blast. Unfortunately, I do miss, but if I had hit that, I'm fairly positive I would have brought him down to a point where Life Orb and Toxic would have taken him out. But even if I didn't bring him down to that point, I would have just switched into my Audino and just gone for the Protect, or gone into my Rapidash, as you see here. But he would have been at a low enough point to where I know he wouldn't want to switch out, seeing as he would have just died from the Stealth Rock Sentry. But in the long run of the battle, it really doesn't matter, as he just brings back in this annoying ass Shelgon. And I'm going to switch into my Audino, hoping that I could go for the Wish. That way I could bring in my Meganium, not my Meganium, sorry, but bring in my Rapidash to gain the Wish. But unfortunately, that is not the case, and he's able to just worm me out into my Meganium. Sorry guys if I'm stuttering a bit. It is 12:30 and I'm extremely tired, but you know what, I just said I would at least try to upload every other day, and that's what I'm going to try to do. So if I have to narrate at 12 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m. I'm gonna do it for you guys, especially for those of you who do enjoy my content, which I don't know why. But yeah, sorry, I'm just talking over the battle, which I don't normally do. So I managed to get rid of the Shelgon. As you saw there, I did go for the Dragon Tail. In hindsight, maybe I should have just gone for the Giga Drain, seeing as I was faster than him, so I wouldn't have to take any extra damage. But because at this point, my last 3 Pokemon are Audino, Meganium, and Rapidash, and I need to save my Rapidash because it is my Scarfer, so I know she'll come in handy. The best thing I had to take a Swarm boosted stabbed X-Scissor is my Audino, and I actually end up living that. I actually thought it would end up KOing me. Luckily, that's not the case, as he's going to bring in the Electabuzz. Now, borrowing that this Electabuzz isn't scarfed, I know my Rapidash will be able to outspeed it and KO it. So I'm actually going to go for the Protect, just to see what he wants to lock himself into, if he wants to go for the Volt Switch, or maybe if he wants to go for the Focus Blast, but he actually ends up just going for the safe Thunderbolt. So as I said, because most Electabuzz do tend to be choice, I'm going to switch into my Meganium, obviously because I do resist the Thunderbolt, and even though I don't run any special defense investments, that Thunderbolt doesn't do that much damage, which is great. As I said, I do resist it. But I'm just going to go straight for the Elite Seed, seeing as he switch is very obvious. And here, if he actually had gone for the possible Hidden Power Ice, seeing as some Electivire do tend to carry the Eviolite, then that would have done a great chunk of damage, but not too much to where I would have been scared of being 2 KO'd, and the following turn I would have just gone for the Giga Drain. But he actually does end up switching into his Kangaskhan, and here I thought he was going to go for the Fake Out, but because I know he still has his Kangaskhan around, I don't want my Meganium to take any more residual damage than it has to, so I decided to switch into my Audino to take the Fake Out, then the following turn go for the Protect just to get some extra toxic damage on it. But unfortunately that is not the case, as he actually does end up going straight for the return, and this turn I'm going to go for the Giga Drain. On hindsight, I should have gone for the Elite Seed, but I thought that maybe he would just want to sack off his Kangaskhan, seeing as it was running on very low amount of HP. But then again, because Kangaskhan is really the only Pokemon he has left to hit my Meganium with hard, I should have known he wanted to save it and was going to switch into the Grumpig. But I also know, because he wants to whittle down my Meganium to where he can bring in his Kangaskhan to KO me with the return, or bring in his Electivire to KO me with the Hidden Power Ice. I know he's not going to go for the taunt, so I'm able to get my Elite Seed off, and then the following turn I will be able to go for the Giga Drain, as he does go for the taunt, and I'm going to be able to knock down this Grumpig to the point where the combination of Leech Seed and Giga Drain will be able to take out the Grumpig. So I was playing a bit stupid at the beginning of the battle, I'm not going to lie, but luckily I did get my things together, and thanks to the support of Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rocks, I am able to get rid of the majority of his team, as he's going to bring in this Kangaskhan, and that return actually doesn't do as much as I thought it would, and I'm able to hit him with the Giga Drain, knocking him down to a point where the Toxic will be able to finish him off, which is just great, because now he is down to his last, which is Electivire. So I know he has a choice to either lock himself into Focus Blast or lock himself into the Thunderbolt, and hopefully get a crit to win the battle. And he actually does lock himself into the Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the crit, and I will be able to easily take that and hit him with the Giga Drain. And the following turn, I will be able to take another Thunderbolt. And even if I had not taken this Thunderbolt, because I do still have my Rapidash, and the fact that this Electabuzz is poisoned, he would have been knocked out with the poison, and I would have won the battle 1-0. But it's going to be a very narrow 2-0 victory in my favor. Very good game, Pikatendo. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Sorry if the narration was a bit off, but as I said, guys, I want to stick to my every other day upload, so make sure to click the like button, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment. And with that, guys, I do believe I am out of here. Haha, later.